Hello, it is Friday, June 24th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Friday puzzle. That means it's a themeless puzzle, our first of two themeless puzzles for the week. And this themeless edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by David Innes, Henrik Koskinen, and, of course, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the inimitable Connor O'Neill. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign. They are directly supporting this channel and this series, and for that I am very grateful, and thank you to everybody who has backed the Patreon campaign at any level. I do very much appreciate it. And if you'd like to join the ranks of those five as benefactors and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve. And of course, there's a link in the description field underneath the video. And if you back the Patreon campaign at any tier, you get all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, such as the new weekly speed solve of the mini puzzles, which I will record today. So, all that said, do subscribe to the channel as well if you've been enjoying these videos. And you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. It's a nice community that you can, to which you can find a link in the description field as well. All right, so let's solve today's puzzle. This is, as I said, a Friday, our first of two themeless puzzles for the week, and it was constructed by Sophia Maimudas, I suppose, and Margaret Cycle. I think I've certainly recognized at least Margaret Cycle's name, I think. Each of these constructors has put together a handful of puzzles for the New York Times before, but this is their first collaboration together. So let's find out what they have in store for us today. We will start solving now. Source of the quote, it is more blessed to give than to receive. I don't know. It might be a book of the Bible, maybe Acts in 4 words. I'm not sure. We'll have to determine that. Creator of terraced agricultural fields known as Andines or Andines. I wonder if it's the Inca or the Maya. Not sure. Okay, not alcoholic. Not alcoholic. I don't know. The term virgin is sometimes used to refer to a non-alcoholic cocktail, but it doesn't fit, obviously. Okay, wig out, to freak out, maybe? Does that help with this? Toward the tail could be aft, and that would make source of the quote plausibly acts. Let's look at that. Brand once produced by Dow Chemical. No idea. Polecats, raccoons, squirrels, etc. I wonder if it's just critters, something as broad as that. Kind of dialect version of creatures. Dress down is maybe tear into somebody. And a brand once produced by Dow Chemical, right? I don't know this. Meghan Markle's something borrowed. I'm not sure. So Meghan Markle is the Duchess of Sussex, right? I don't know. Is it a tiara? I'm not sure what. I don't really know what the implication of that is, but does that help? Oh, brand once produced by Dow Chemical. Saran wrap, perhaps? A brand of cling film? That could be. Seems plausible. And marsupium by another name. Oh, that's a kangaroo pouch, I think. And I think that's why we refer to that category of creatures as marsupials, because they share that anatomical element. The pouch, the marsupium. I think that's right. That's helpful, very helpful. Lucky that I got that, because it's quite a long answer. Good auto for an LA to NYC road trip. Oh, it must be the Trans Am. So there's a question mark here indicating a bit of a pun, but I wonder if, in fact, I don't know this, but I wonder if that is the derivation of that model name, Trans Am, Trans America, perhaps, maybe intended to evoke that kind of imagery. I don't know. I never thought about it, but I think it's the answer. Queen's protection. Queen bee could be protected by her stinger. And Brazilian's place. Brazilian's place. I'm not sure what that is getting at. Sorry. Writers' organization with apt initials. PEN is a writers' organization, aptly named, of course. And historian Schoenberg of the Harlem, Renaissance. Arturo, and then that would make Brazilian's place spa. So, right, yes, a Brazilian wax, I guess is what this means. Whereas I was thinking someone from Brazil, so maybe a Portuguese word for place or something. It didn't really seem useful. So does that work here? Itch could be an urge, yes. And title for Frida Kahlo could be Siorna. So there we go. So Arturo Schoenberg of the Harlem Renaissance, Siorna Frida Kahlo, and alternative to blinds. Is this antes? I know that blinds is used in it's some terminology having to do with betting and card games, but I don't remember precisely what the distinction is there, but it has something to do with that. So I'm wondering if the alternative is an ante, which is another, sort of a starting bet in a gambling game. Somewhat could be in part. It's somewhat true. It's true in part. And, so the creator of terraced agricultural fields looks like it is indeed the Inca, which is what I suspected, or one of two suspicions anyway. Stronger than pain, sloganeer. Not sure. What about this? Summer temperatures of 120 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley would be the norm, I suppose. It's unbelievably hot. To say, you're so cute, e.g., is to coo, I suppose, at a baby, for instance. And a place to slurp ramen could be a noodle hut, a noodle what? Bar? Oh, a noodle bar, that's better. Yes, okay. Cheesesteak topper. So cheesesteak is a sandwich with thinly sliced beef and onions and peppers usually, and cheese. Oh, provolone would be, okay, so cheese. So most traditionally, I think, a Philly cheesesteak, a Philadelphia cheesesteak, there are arguments about this, but I think it is most traditionally made with Cheese Whiz, sort of processed cheese spray, but often topped instead with provolone for people who do not prefer the Cheese Whiz. Stronger than pain sloganeer. Oh, it must be Advil, which is a painkiller medicine. It's a pill. Okay, RN's insertion. Registered nurses insertion, I assume this is. Is it an IV drip, maybe? An intravenous drip, maybe? Something you'd insert into a patient? And persuade, well, maybe not. Maybe an IV line or something, because persuade somebody could be to sell them on something, maybe. Not sure about this. Let's check the crosses. Uncommon member of a high school band. An oboist? Perhaps that's less common in high school bands. That seems plausible. High school bands mainly brass, usually, as opposed to woodwinds, which an oboe would be. Not alcoholic. Oh, I should look at this IV thing again. Oh, right, so I did think maybe it was IV line. What is this, maybe? Things that parks and families have. Trees, family parks. Oops, spelled that incorrectly. Frequent maid of honor in brief could be sis, a sister. What about this one? Fermented beverage. Ale is fermented. Non-alcoholic soft. Oh, like a soft drink. Yes, that is indeed what a soft drink means. It means it is not alcoholic. It's just that terminology has so fully entered the lexicon that we don't really think about the sort of soft and to drink as, we don't think of soft as an adjective working unto itself. It's just kind of part of a term, soft drink. And then what is this? Oh, civil rights activist Fannie Lou Hamer. Yes. There we have that. And a mortgage offering could be a rate. You could be offered a particular rate in a mortgage. Cause of a breakup could be love running out or no. Pallid could be ashy. Never a big fan of the word ashy. Just sort of one of those, some words just don't sound good when you put a Y at the end. Ashen sounds more like a word to me for some reason. I don't know why. Signature scent introduced in 1968. I don't know. It'll be a perfume, presumably. Literally skewer. And group photo pose during a rush. A sorority house or a sorority. This is referring to in U.S. universities what they call the kind of Greek life, which is sororities and fraternities, and a rush is when is the period of the year during which people attempt to join sororities and fraternities. But I don't know what this would be. Sorority house is my guess. Okay. Oh, maybe this is Estee, named for Estee Lauder, perhaps the cosmetics giant, founder. Flip is to go ape. Right. So to flip as a verb, to mean to go nuts, to go ape. Here we have ipso facto, just a blank completion there. And BART is to San Francisco as something is to Philadelphia. So BART is the public transport system. Well, it's technically not the San Francisco's public transport system. It's the San Francisco Bay Area's commuter public transport system, whereas Muni is actually the city of San Francisco's public transport system. But anyway, but SEPTA is, I think, the name of Philadelphia's comparable network. Okay, to leak through is to seep through. It's straightforward enough. And this looks easy to complete. Record label co-founded by Drake. Turns out it wasn't easy to complete for me, unfortunately. When doubled, racing sound. A vroom vroom, maybe? Is that what that could be, maybe? OVO. I have no idea if that's Drake's record label. Maybe I shouldn't put that in just yet. Here we have home to California's Limekiln State Park. I actually don't know. Cheese from the south of Italy. And numbers that come after 1. Numbers that come after 1. I don't know. Are they sort of runners up or something? I'm trying to think what that would mean. Mathematically, I don't really know what that would mean. Renee Blank Goldsberry of Hamilton. I'm not sure. Kind of architectural movement with the philosophy of living with less. Architectural movement. Kind of architectural movement. It doesn't even say just architectural movement. That's interesting that it says kind of. I wonder what that means. So that implies it's a category of movement as opposed to the name of a particular movement. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Author Mario Vargas Llosa. I'm probably pronouncing that poorly. I'm sorry. And to gobble up something is to eat it. An impertinent sort is what? I'm not sure. In 4 letters, ending with a T anyway. They're denoted by T's, for T-shirts. They're denoted by T's, 4 T's. What denotes? I don't know. Armholes or something? I'm not sure what that's... Sorry, I'm not sure what that's implying. Right. Cause of a breakup. Love... or lover, I guess. Lover's quarrel? There we go. Lover's quarrel. Okay, so sorority squad, maybe? I'm not familiar with that particular phrase, but it sounds like it could be a phrase. Here we have literally skewer. Oh, shish as in shish kebab. That makes sense because shish kebab has a skewer as part of it. So if one is alive with excitement, one is a hum, maybe. In a crowd, if a crowd is alive with excitement, the crowd is a hum. You can hear the excitement. Mesopotamian goddess of love and war. Ishtar, I think. Let's check the crosses on that. Jeep successor is a Humvee. It's a military vehicle. Sort of military, like light transport vehicle, I guess. Ohio claims to be its birthplace. Not sure. TV character who said, "I do love a locker room. It smells like potential." I'm not sure. Maybe I'll recognize this when I see it, but maybe not. I have no idea. High-pitched cry could be eek. And a chemical suffix. I mean, "ene" would be an easy one. A lot of chemicals end in "ine." I don't know, styrene, that kind of thing. What about, oh, right, this is that TV character. I'm not sure. Longtime NPR call-in show. Oh, Car Talk. I do know that. I've only heard little bits of it, but I know people absolutely love Car Talk because of the sort of camaraderie and sense of humor between the two hosts. Okay, TV character said, "I do love a locker room. It smells like potential." What is this? This doesn't look like this is right. It looks like I have something wrong here. Maybe I'll delete Humvee as well. Car Talk, I think, is right. Eek seems plausible, especially with that K. Windows might be opened by one. A PC user, you might turn on your computer and open Windows on it. Cheese, cheese from the south of Italy. Oh, burrata, a sort of fresh cheese that's kind of like, it's like mozzarella, but fresher. Renee Elise Goldsberry, maybe? I mean, that would be a name that would fit. Oh, they're denoted by T's for D's. Talls, maybe? Is that a thing where you'd have a t-shirt with a T indicating it's sized for tall people, perhaps? I'm not sure. Seems plausible. Impertinent sort. I don't know. I keep thinking sassy or something like that, but it doesn't really fit. Okay, maybe I'll come back to this corner. I'm sort of stalling out there a bit. Christmas blank. And blank Gant, protagonist of Thomas Wolfe's Look Homeward, Angel. I'm not sure. Ease, when doubled racing sound. It could be that vroom vroom. Let's look at the crosses on that and see. Wuthering Heights setting. Wuthering Heights is set in the moors. Very iconically. So there we go. There's that. X maybe in Spanish. X maybe in Spanish. A kiss, beso, maybe is that be kiss in Spanish, probably, or something like that. What Salt and Pepper were not, despite their name? A duo, because they were a trio, actually, right? Numbers that come after one, something codes? I don't know what that means. Oh, I see. Area codes, right. Because in the US, so 1 is the international calling code for the United States, and so that's how you would have to dial a long-distance number. It's 4-4 here in the UK for whatever reason. I don't know how. I don't remember. I think I once read about how those were determined. I don't remember anymore. Okay, this does look like it could be vroom vroom. And kind of architectural movement with the philosophy of living with less. Is it tiny house or something? I know that there is a kind of tiny house movement of people who construct and live in very, extreme, sort of unusually small houses. But I wonder if that's what this is. States could be says, as in says something, states it aloud. Anything I haven't seen here yet? Yes, I haven't seen this. The Simpsons character with an 18-letter last name. I don't know. Home to California's Limekiln State Park, Big Sur. Big Sur has come up a few times, actually, in the last several months in the crossword. I'm not familiar with Limekiln State Park, so I wouldn't have gotten that without the crosses. Okay, part of a French 101 conjugation. I mean, honestly, there are quite a few things this could be. Maybe the most obvious would be suis. Je suis means I am. So that maybe is the most likely. Ease could be, no, I don't think it is. Maybe it's, see, there are many possibilities. Et vous êtes would mean you in the plural or formal sense. Are, you are would be vous êtes. So that could be it. If something eases, it abates. And Christmas spirit, I suppose, is the word to fill in here. And Eugene Gant, protagonist of Thomas Wolfe's Look Homeward, Angel, must be right. And then the Simpsons character with an 18-letter last name must be Apu. So there we go. All right, now I have to tackle this troublesome area over here, this impertinent sort of section of the crossword. So I wonder what Ohio claims to be the birthplace of. I mean, it looks like it could be area something or aviation. Is Ohio the birthplace of aviation? I don't know. I mean, I guess I shouldn't even bother speculating. And Kitty Hawk, where the Wright brothers launched their flight, was Arkansas? Wasn't it? No, maybe I'm just confusing that with Little Rock. I don't know. Maybe that was Ohio. I don't know. I clearly don't know. But it does work with Humvee, which is why I think it might be the answer. So Humvee and then chemical suffix. Oh, okay. So Ide or Ein or something like that. Boy, how am I going to figure out this TV character if this chemical suffix could be more than one thing? That's tricky. Renee, this looks like Elise at this point, doesn't it? Oh, it's Ted Lasso. Oh, okay. I have actually seen this show, Ted Lasso, but I didn't remember this phrase. These are some tricky crosses, I must say. Oh, so an impertinent sort is a snot. You might refer to a child as a little snot. And then this will be ide, so chemical suffix ide, like, I don't know, bromide or something like that. And then, so this is sorority squat. Is that the answer? I don't know what that means. I mean, I suppose the subjects in the photograph are all squatting down. I'm not sure what the implication of that is. Anyway, there we go. Okay. So we finished the puzzle by disambiguating some surprising crosses. Quite a few proper nouns over here. Author Mario Vargas Llosa. We have Renee Elise Goldsberry. We have Ted Lasso. Humvee, which I suppose is also a proper noun in a way. Tough one. Quite a lot in this puzzle, actually. SEPTA, which is a sort of regional brand, I guess, sort of government brand. Apu, Big Sur. Ovo is a brand name, a record label name. Arturo. Fanny. Quite a lot. Took me by surprise. Inca, I suppose you could say, is a proper noun. That's a bit more of a generic bit of language at this point. But Trans Am, another brand in that case. Wow. I think that's a tough puzzle. I think. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's the kind of puzzle that, with proper nouns, it really just depends on the solver. I mean, proper nouns really deal with sort of specific domain knowledge, about a particular field or, bit of culture or something. And so it really just depends, I guess. I wonder how people fared with this puzzle. Tricky one for me, especially this little corner down here. Anyway, I am going to move on because, as I recall, there were quite a few clues from yesterday's puzzle that were left, comments rather, that were left on the video, so I should get to those quickly. An open hand explains that chicle, C-H-I-C-L-E, which I inferred was the gum ingredient, is a natural gum harvested from trees. The process is similar to harvesting rubber. You put gashes in the trunk. You're totally right that this is where chiclets derive their name, although I very much doubt they contain actual chicle today. Honestly, says An Open Hand, I've tried chicle-based gum before. It loses elasticity very quickly. The natural product isn't always the best. And then there were a few more comments about this precise word. Davis Luna says, I only got chicle because it's the Spanish word for gum, pronounced like chicle. But after you mentioned chiclets, I had a pang of nostalgia. I used to love that when I was growing up and had completely forgotten about it. And then Loiseau Moore says chicle or chicle is a natural gum or resin-like substance collected from trees. It is native to what we now call Mexico, and before the arrival of Europeans, the indigenous people of the region traditionally chewed it as a way to stave off hunger, freshen breath, and keep teeth clean. The word itself comes from the Nahuatl word for the gum, tzictli, I think would be how that's pronounced. So thank you to everybody who left those comments. It's very interesting. And Nandini Marotra, says a little info on the pronunciation of what I think I said, something like Desi, which was sort of a self-descriptive term for many South Asians. And Nandini explains it's pronounced somewhat like Desi with a slight change to the end, so it becomes Z to become more of an S, so it's more like Desi. Hope that makes sense. It does make sense, and thank you for the correction. Okay, Garbaz has a funny interpretation of the Mars rover in brief clue, which I interpreted to mean extraterrestrials in the sense that maybe it's referring to alien, hypothetical alien beings as opposed to the Mars rover machine. Garbaz says, could that also mean be meant in the sense that NASA Mars rovers are themselves extraterrestrial, being literally something that is not on Earth? I think that's a very clever interpretation. I think I would still make the case for the Mars rovers in brief, especially because it has the punny question mark at the end. I still suspect that means sort of hypothetical extraterrestrial creatures, because although the Mars rover operates in an extraterrestrial manner, it is not itself extraterrestrial. It is not of. It is itself of Earth. It was created on Earth and sent off of it, which I think, to me, I would take that to mean the Mars rover itself, the machine, is not in its own identity extraterrestrial. But I think that's a perfectly fair interpretation on your part. Okay, and we had a few comments about my friend Flicka, which was something I did not recognize. Let's see. There were quite a few comments, so I'll just read a few of them. It was apparently a book series about a boy and his horse. And actually, Clara Clark points out Flicka is the Swedish word for girl. Didn't know that. Michael Blazin says, most people remember the TV series. Though only one season was filmed, it had a remarkable run after its cancellation. It bounced around various networks on Saturday afternoons and Sunday nights for another 7 years. The same 30 episodes over and over. It was filmed in color, but only broadcast in black and white, since color TVs were rare before 1963. And Laura Saxon says, growing up in the 50s, my friend Flicka was books, movies, and a TV show, and came to mind quite quickly. She also says, for some reason, we also learned about chicle or chicle in school, so those two were instant entries for me. And then Old Footer recognized my friend Flicka from his childhood, but hadn't himself read it, I suppose. And then, let's see, finally, Joe Zichterman recognized the phrase each one, teach one, which I don't think I had heard before, but it was sort of understood, I think, the thrust of it. And Joe elaborates, I'm vaguely familiar with this as a message directing a group of people to find a person to teach their information to. If each teaches one, and those ones teach one, etc., the knowledge spreads quickly. So that makes sense. Thank you for that. And thank you to everybody who left a comment from that. Apologies to anyone whose comment I didn't read. There were quite a few yesterday. So there we have it. And that's that for today's video and today's crossword. We'll, of course, be back tomorrow for another themeless puzzle, or Saturday puzzle, perhaps a step up in difficulty from this one. Hopefully not a step up in tricky proper nouns for me, but we'll just have to see. You can find out in about a day's time from now. So do join me then. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Friday. Take care.